So you want to know what kind of vaccines you need when traveling to Peru? In this video, I'm going to give you 5 important points and share with you some important tips as well. So let's talk. Welcome to Travel Tips Talk. My name is Herb. I'm going to give you 5 important points when you're traveling to Peru. First of all, number 1, yellow fever vaccines. Yellow fever vaccines is actually not required for entry. However, if you're going to the jungles, the Amazons, somewhere with the mosquitoes region, northern part of Peru, then definitely immunizations for yellow fever, getting the yellow fever vaccines is not a bad idea to protect yourself. If you're just going to Machu Picchu, big cities, high altitude places along the coast, southern part of Peru, then unlikely that you need yellow fever for this trip. So something to consider. Number 2, Hepatitis A and Typhoid fever vaccine. Those two are transmitted by food and water. So if you are going to eat there, probably you might want to get vaccinated if you're not updated, if you're not protected. More about the disease in other videos. Number 3, malaria. Malaria is transmitted by mosquito bites. If you are going to high altitude places where there are no mosquitoes, then you probably don't need it. If you're going to visiting major cities, those places are pretty clean. They don't really have high transmission rate of malaria, then you probably don't have to worry about. However, again, if you're going to the jungles, the Amazons, then likely, yes, you will need some prophylactic medications to prevent contracting malaria. Number 4, high altitude sickness. If you are, which this video, we're going to focus on the southern part and Machu Picchu and all the high altitude places like Puno, Lake Titicaca, Inca Trail, then high altitude sickness pills, which most likely I would recommend acetazolamide, which is very common, just to help yourself acclimatize faster. High altitude sickness pills, yes, definitely. You will need to consider that if you are going to high altitude places, high altitude cities. Number 5, traveler's diarrhea. Again, that ties into eating and drinking at local restaurants and all that. So if you want to don't want to contract any diarrhea, especially cholera and all that, traveler's diarrhea pills, whether it's in the vaccine form to prevent traveler's diarrhea or in an antibiotic form, which you bring with you, and you don't have to use it unless you're actually getting diarrhea, then you start taking that to cure yourself. So that's pretty common practice for travelers, actually. So no need to worry about overusing antibiotics, because in that case, it's actually correct use of antibiotics. So those are the 5 important points when you're going to Peru. Now, there are, of course, some other tips that I might want to share with you. For example, routine vaccines. Besides all those vaccines I just talked about, you might want to keep your routine vaccines updated. Depends on which countries you're from. Hepatitis B, tetanus, flu shots, those ones, especially, if you're hiking, you might get cuts or you might get accidents. You want to make sure you're up to date on your tetanus vaccination or tetanus protection. Depends on the time of the year. Flu shot is pretty important as well. I don't know when you're going to watch this video. Make sure if it's flu season, you might want to actually get your flu shot, because if you're going to fly there on a plane, you're going to be trapped with other people from around the world, which is the easiest way to contract flu or getting influenza, during the long flight. So make sure you get your flu shot. Number 2 would be sunscreen and bug sprays. Again, depends on what time of year you're going to Peru. If it's sunny, if you're going into the jungles, then sunscreen and bug spray would be your best friends. If you're putting on sunscreen, bug spray, there's another video of how to correctly put them on and how often you need to reapply. So check out those videos as well. So hopefully these 5 points and tips will help you prepare yourself before boarding the plane to Peru. And if you do go to other cities, do check out other videos on this channel, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.